Alright guys, I don't know if you can see this, how good you can see this here. But I gotta get these manifolds off, and as you can see, for the most part, all the bolts came out except for two on this side. Or three. Yeah, three bolts that rounded off on me. And they're just so rusty. Let me try the old vice grip trick, see if that one works first. There. Oh, that nut just actually broke. Now that works. Let's try this. Once I get something moving. There you go. Yeah, I might be able to get that with a socket now. Okay, yeah, it's 13 millimeter. On something this rusty, you're going to want to make sure you use a 6-point socket. Okay. Just one, two more to go. Oh. Yeah, that one doesn't want to come out. Before I put this away, let me try it on this one. Oh, no way. This stuff's too far gone. Alright, let me try something with this one. Let that soak in for a little bit. Jump to the other side, do the same thing. Seem to have luck up high on these. Even though it's only a washer. It seems like if you get them to break loose, they'll wow. We will get this out of there. One way or another. Usually take and I put a little mark in there like that, straight down. And chisel. Okay. Make sure you wear eye protection when you do this. Let me throw the vice grips back on there, see if that helped. Sometimes that little bit of vibration is all it takes. Yep, that's all it took. I'll come back in here with this and take her out. I think what that chisel does, it actually breaks the bond from the rust. The rust bond. Hope you guys don't mind the new fancy names I put to stuff, but pretty much what it is. You see it work. One more to go. Actually, you know what? Leave one started up high. Now we can work on that bottom one. So as you can tell, the heat shields must have rusted off of this a long time ago. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. As you can see, there's one more right here. I don't know what's up with that one. Oh no, it's not. It's got a crap out of me. Okay. finally had that top bolt starter. Alright, that was a broken one. Yeah, let's do the same thing on this side. Just can't get into it. I got this front cover all cleaned up. I'm going to show you how to go about replacing the front seal. I'm going to start by just knocking that one out. Now if it's still on the vehicle, there's a few different ways of pulling that seal. You could, it's kind of hard to get behind there with a traditional seal puller because the crank is right there. Actually on this one, yeah, the crank is sticking through a little bit, but you might be able to get behind it enough and pry it out. Sometimes I take a little puller and I put a self-tapping screw into the seal. I take a slide hammer and pop it out. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. But since it's off, I'm just going to knock it out from the back side. Okay, just like so. Spin it around. I want to make sure it's nice and clean inside. It's a pretty nice tight fit. You could just take and tap that in nice and straight, get it started, and like find something that this one doesn't quite fit in there. I got this old race. That'd be nice. Get something that comes as close as possible to the outside diameter, because you don't want to hit in too close because you'll end up bending and distorting that seal. So you want to get as close as you can to that outer perimeter. I think that'd be fine. Now you can take a block of wood or something on there and just tap it down slowly, nice and straight. But I got a couple presses, so I'll just push it in nice and straight with a press. You never know if that surface gets scored when you're removing the seal. It's only aluminum, so it doesn't take much. And so I just take some silicone or some shellac. I have some Indian head shellac that you use on like head gaskets and seals like that. So I usually take and go around the outer perimeter of the seal with it. Not only does it help seal it, it also makes sure it doesn't go anywhere. And it fills in any imperfections in that housing. Take and get her started nice and straight. I had a couple different style presses over here. Make sure I get it nice and straight. Okay. So you want to get this going as straight as possible. Up. Alright guys, I just wanted to give you a close-on shot of that seal after I installed it. As you can see, it's nice and straight. It's in nice and even all the way around. There's a perfect gap, because when this presses in, it presses all the way against the back. There's a back stop, a ledge that seal presses against. And sometimes when you tap them in, it's hard to make sure you hit it nice and square. Even though you have a block of wood on there, you might be hitting it a little bit off center, and you'll end up distorting that seal slightly. And over time, wherever that seal is distorted, it will wear faster. And then doing it in this method, I get them nice and square, nice and straight, and it presses in nice and smooth until it hits the back. You can see that. As you can see here, you can see the seal presses all the way in until it hits the backrest, and it's nice and square. There's no distortion at all in that seal. If you have to knock them in, that's fine. And sometimes you don't have the luxury of installing it on the press, so you have no choice but to knock them in. But if I have it off and I have a nice square surface that I could rest it nice and easy, I'll knock them in with the press. I'll put them on the press and just put them in nice and straight. Then I'm going to install a new thermostat. I'll have some easy access to it. I went to remove the thermostat housing to put the new thermostat in it. One of the bolts snapped almost instantly. It's a problem with these things when you got aluminum and steel together. They tend not to want to come apart. So let me show you how to go about removing those. A broken bolt. This ain't always easy, guys. So. I hate when stuff like this happens because it tends to set you back a little bit. You know, what can you do? It's part of the job. I'm going to try to get this set up in the most comfortable position so you can hold it square. Once you feel comfortable with it and you get yourself set up, start out really small. Make sure you wear safety goggles. You can see it's pretty centered for the most part. Got a nice pilot hole started. Center home. Okay, that's as far as we're going. Okay, then you're going to want to get your right size tap. In this case, I know it's 6.10. That's how you can tell your thread size, guys. Take that tap and mate the threads together, and they'll fall right together. Let's chase those threads out. I just want you to see this. This is how long the original bolt is. And that's how much was down in there. So as you can see, we have plenty of material left here to go deeper. So I'm going to take and tap that all the way down and put the next size longer bolt in it. And start nice and straight. As you can see, it's still a nice solid fit. I consider that lucky. So many times these things will fight you, and a lot of things get ruined in the process. But I'm starting to cut some new threads. I'm going to go all the way down through. That way I have some new fresh stuff down lower. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the material falling out the bottom. That's where I'm cutting new threads. Okay, I think we're through. Okay, we're all the way through now. Yeah, it set us back a little bit, but like I said before, it comes with the job, you know. When you got aluminum parts with steel bolts in them, you think a wheel's hard to get off sometimes. That could turn out to be an easy task. Okay, so where we were before, that set us back a little bit, about 45 minutes to be exact. Install your new thermostat into your housing. As you can see, you got this little check ball, and then you got a notch in that housing. line that up with that. You can actually see from this side a little bit. As you can see, I'm going to replace both bolts while I'm at it. This one is a little bit longer, so they'll have to take notes of that whenever they replace it again. I only did this that way you could use the same socket to remove both of them. Alright, now we can start assembling it. Hopefully don't have too many more of them hiccups. I know it's hard for you guys to see this side, but I'm going to start by installing the flywheel. In this case you call this a flex plate. And I'm going to use Loctite on these because this is one thing you don't want coming loose. This is actually a tool made for this. I used to have a much better one, but I misplaced that a long time ago. I'll take that and put it on the flywheel like so. Make sure everything's tight. That impact gun's amazing. Okay. Install a little grease on that seal. Torque down to 40 foot-pounds of torque. I'm going to start and do the water pump nice and even. And I'll work around the edges. Yeah, let's install the oil pan. Just got to put the gasket up first. Let's install the pickup tube. Okay, once you have everything nice and tight, everything looks like it pulled up nice. Okay, install the oil pan. Man. Alright, torque all the oil pan bolts to 130 inch-pounds. Pretty much all right on the money. I got a pretty good feel for it over the years. As you can see, it just clicks right there. I just got a little tiny turn on it. It would have been more than enough. Like I said, over the years you get a feel for it. I really didn't have to go over it with a torque wrench, but that is the right way to do it. Turn my balancer on. I already got this all cleaned up and put a little bit of lube on there, help it slide in the seal. I'm going to take and line that keyway up with the key. You'll know when you got it, because it'll start to slide on for you. temperature sensor in it. Now let's put the oil pressure switch in it. Okay, temp sensor in it. Use it to motor mount on it.